may not be here. But we no longer have the official law school photographer. So Alicia and Anne are separately trying to do something. It's better to be here. We're doing what we can. The other thing is the slides, which you see up here, are now, I'll post them as I can every morning before the lecture on classes B2. So you could print them out, like I've got it printed out here, or you could well, look at it any time. All right. So again, this, if you're new here, this is Econ 527, Law 20083, Management 565. And you're welcome if you're from some other school as well. I have to get something for you to sign. And it's about, this is behavioral and institutional economics. And today I'm going to talk about behavioral mostly, namely about confidence, which in effect the book that I assigned you to read that I wrote with George Akerlof is really about confidence. We call it animal spirits, but it's about what drives the world's economies and what causes them to get in boom periods at some times and depressions at other times. So I probably have more slides. I don't know, I keep adding to this lecture every year, and I don't delete anything. I have so many good things to say, it seems. I might not get through everything in this lecture, but it's about confidence. The term confidence, referring to an economy, is a business term, and it goes back at least 150 years. So business people have long remarked, it seems to them, that there are times when the economy shows confidence, or people show confidence, and there are times when there's lack of confidence. It's a topic that hasn't been central to most economic theorists, John Maynard Keynes being an exception. But it's starting to emerge now with the growth of behavioral economics. I thought I'd start, I hate to say it, there's not much math in this course, but I'll start with math. But this is just impressionistic. The central paradigm for economic theory has people as rationally maximizing their own individual expected utility, subject to a budget constraint. And these two equations, in various conformations, various representations, are central to what percent of the economic theory? 80% of economic theory? So the idea is that you are choosing quantities of n goods, and the quantity x1 is the amount of the first good that you choose to consume. x2 is the amount of the second good. And this is the utility function. And this E means expectation, mathematical expectation of the utility function. And people want just to consume as much as they can of everything, but they have diminishing marginal utility. This is actually an interesting theory. It just gets overblown, and then I get feeling kind of negative about it. But it is an interesting theory for certain purposes. And people have a budget constraint. They have income, Y, and then there's prices for each of the different goods that they might consume. P1 is the price of the first good. P2 is the price of the second good. And so this is your constraint. So if you solve a constrained maximization problem, it's ordinary calculus. Well, yeah, it's ordinary calculus. You learn how to do that in high school, right? So the idea is that that's what we do all of our lives. And there's some truth, I don't mean to diminish it, there's some truth to this, it's of some value. It's just that academics tend to run with the thing a little bit too long. This man, Leonard Jimmy Savage, I put a picture of him up because he was a Yale professor who, on this block, his office, I think, was in my sense of direction, at the end of this block in the stat department. And he, devised a set of axioms about rational behavior called the Savage axioms. And he proved that if people satisfy his axioms of rational behavior, then they must act as expected utility maximizers. But that's assuming that people are rational. That's not necessarily true. We don't necessarily satisfy the Savage axiom. He had a strong pair of glasses, didn't he? I never met this man before my time. Anyway, the issue that I'm referring to here is confidence. And it's not... The expected utility framework posits that people are rational and self-interested. That means you don't care what anybody else is thinking. Not the slightest sympathy for anyone else. You just want to consume as much as you can. Okay? And so all you need to know is prices and income, and I don't need to know anything else. But the problem is that people we are a social species, and we seem to interact with each other. I took this was an early statement about business confidence. It's from Scientific American. You wouldn't think Scientific American would be the source of business confidence, but